imagine it's finals week, okay? And you have been studying for like hours on an exam that you are like, you have to pass, otherwise you flunk out of the class, okay? And you have to take it all over. So there's like mega pressure. You feel like you have no time for anything that you want to do because you're stuck studying. And when you are studying, it's like you enjoy the subject, but it's like it feels so forced because you have to pass. And you basically lock yourself up in a library and you're not enjoying yourself, right? All of a sudden you take the exam, you find out you passed. You were like, I am free. Like, this is amazing. And you are rejoicing. You were happy. You're like, I am done. What are you going to do? Like, imagine you're in that scenario. What are you going to do? Do you think you're going to go right back to the library and start studying again? No. Right? No, you'd probably go hit the bar, or you'd go hit a club, or you'd go out for dinner and celebrate. You'd go hang out with your friends. Like, you would do something to celebrate and just be out of there, right? Because you felt so stuck studying. That is how the avoidantly attached person feels after the breakup. They feel like, oh my God, I can't be myself. I can't be my own person. I am stuck. I just want to go out. I just want to like go back to like focusing on my business. I just want to focus on my health and like eat what I want to eat and not have you force me to take you out to dinner. Like, oh my God, all these things. And so what they do is cut the cord. And like, I made a whole nother podcast episode on why an avoidantly attached person might end things and talking about the anxious avoidant trap. Again, that's episode 1. But it's very important to understand that they go out and rejoice. So what happens when they are rejoicing and celebrating for the avoidant attacher? They could be focusing like head down, focusing on their business, their health, maybe their job. Like whatever it is, like they're super razor focused, okay? But also during this period, they're also celebrating. So they are hanging out with friends. They might just start jumping into another relationship, like a hookup or something, right? Or like a very surface level relationship where like there's some romantic energy, but it's mostly just like physical stuff, right? Because those are surface level relationships. There's no need or requirement to be vulnerable or open up in those surface level hookup relationships, right? So that's why avoidantly attached people love dating apps, because you don't have to be vulnerable on dating apps, right? The conversation goes something like, hey, what's up? Nothing much. How about you? Just got out of work. Oh, that's cool. And then the next day, like, how was your day? Like, oh, it was good. How about you? And it's just like BS stuff, or like, how long have you lived in that city? Oh, I've lived here for 8 years. Oh, that's really cool. Do you like it? Yeah, I totally do. Like BS conversations. This is surface level shit, okay? And all they want is to have some sort of connection so they don't actually feel alone. But in reality, they are alone. They pushed everyone out of their life because they want complete control of everything. And in order to have complete control, they need to literally take someone and be like, okay, I want to hang out with you on this day, or I want to have sex with you on this day, or I want to be friends with you on this day. And they just pick and choose who they want. They're very good at manipulation in a way, okay? Some of them, not all avoidantly attached people are great manipulators, but they do know how to get what they want, okay? Which kind of is what manipulation is, but manipulation can also be very dark in other ways, okay? What happens is this: when they are rejoicing, they are probably posting on their social media, like, look at me, I have friends, or like, I'm super cool, or like, look at all the things I'm doing, right? They might post a couple of things to their story, but they're not going to be as crazy as the anxious attacher, right? Anxiously attached people will post their entire life on their Instagram stories or their posts, like hour by hour, like, look at me, I'm eating healthy, look at me, I'm with friends, look at me, I love my job, look at me, I'm out here, look at me, I'm going to bed and I look super sexy. It's like they basically want to make sure that their audience, aka their ex, the avoidantly attached person, they want their ex to know that they are super happy and life is amazing, right? But for the avoidant attacher, they don't give an hour by hour update because they never did that, even when they were dating someone. It's like they don't like that, okay? Because when people know what they're doing on a day-to-day basis, they can kind of like use them or manipulate them or control them, and they don't like that, okay? So anyway, avoidantly attached people, your ex will start to post some things, and then all of a sudden to their story, like I would say, like for my avoidant ex, he never really posted much to his actual feed. It was mostly to his story, okay? And it was consistent, like every single day posting stuff to the story. This was right after the breakup too. And I was like, this guy is like always out. Like, what's going on, right? And then all of a sudden, dead. gone. He didn't actually die, but like he disappeared, like nothing on social media, right? And then I'm not even kidding, a couple weeks later, that is when he returned. Okay. And this was like the second time. All right. And this is when he'd actually texted me. This was like 2 years after the breakup. And he like sends me a random text of the sunset because he was like back in Chicago randomly. And I always watch the sunset on the Riverwalk, and I'd post it to my story like every so often. And he sends me a picture of him watching the sunset from his car and was like, hope you have a good spot for sunset tonight. And I was like, what the, like, this was again, not months, this was years after the breakup, randomly sends me a text like that. And I'm like, yeah. And again, I was still like so fragile. So like if he texted me, I would have been like, oh my God, I love you, I'm back. Like what? But now like I'm not like that at all. But because I was still extremely anxious at the time. Now I'm secure. So it's interesting because when he sent that text, that basically started the full process over like, oh my God, maybe I like you. Oh my God, maybe he likes me. Oh my God, why is he texting me? Oh my God. And then that's the anxiety. Like that's the anxious part of the attachment to him that I experienced. Okay. So the pattern that you have to look out for, just so that you're aware, is they're going to post more than usual. And then all of a sudden, nothing. And then in that period of nothing, they will reach out. Okay. Actually, I shouldn't say they will. It's common that they will reach out. Okay. That's exactly what this guy did to me. And I shouldn't have even acted surprised because it's like, that's just what avoidantly attached people do. But at the time, like I didn't even understand attachment theory, psychology, relationships, dating, manipulation, narcissism, none of that stuff. And I spent so much time like studying that and also spending time understanding myself, self-love, and figuring out who the hell I was. Okay. And like, I'm telling you, when you wake up one day and realize like, oh my God, I love myself. And I'm like, why am I standing up for this? Like, I want someone to treat me with respect. I want someone that doesn't just like come into my life and then like exit whenever they want. And I want to feel supported and loved. And I want to feel like my partner doesn't want to leave me, and that if I act weird or if I say something weird or if I go after my dreams or if I just am authentically me, I don't want my partner to just leave me out of nowhere, because then that would trigger me and that would make my fear of abandonment even worse. Okay. So like that whole process of realization and just becoming aware of who I was and what I needed, like that is my true need. Like I need to know that my partner isn't going to leave me out of nowhere. And then that makes me feel safe. Okay. Now I have definitely healed my attachment style and I'm much more secure, and I'm just like aware of behavior in general. I know if I got into a relationship with an avoidantly attached person, I would use direct communication to be like, listen, this is what I need and want from you in order to feel safe and secure. And I would want to know what they need as well. And there's like all these other things that you can check to make sure that you are in a relationship with someone that's either avoidant or secure, but that will make you feel secure as well, no matter what the attachment style is. Okay. I can make another podcast episode on that if you want. Let me know. To sum all these things up, I know you're watching this podcast episode because you just want to catch one of these signs so that your ex comes back to you and that everything's okay again. But I would really encourage you, turn the spotlight from them to you. When you're like, oh my gosh, I just want my ex to come back. I want them to come back so badly. It's like, well, why not you say like, I just want me to come back. Like, I want to be me again. What does that mean to you? What does that mean when you're like, I just want to find me. I just want to find home. I just want to feel peace. Because honestly, that was like the main question that I was asking myself, like since that breakup to last summer. Okay. That's really what we all want, right? Is to feel safe, to feel peace, and to feel like we have a home, like we belong somewhere. And for me, at least being an anxious attacher, the concept of not belonging was something that definitely fueled a lot of my wounds for sure. And it's like, it can definitely trigger me in some situations still. The lesson that I learned, at least through this whole breakup process and like healing process, was that I just wanted to find myself and I just wanted to find home, peace, comfort. and security. And I always thought I had to find like a physical place that would make me like feel free and light and happy, or I needed to like become this like new version of me where like I would attract the right person, which is like kind of true to an extent. I always thought like I had to travel around the world and like find a certain place that would make me happy, and then all of a sudden everything would be okay. But what I discovered, and by the way, I traveled to 15 different countries in Europe, and I traveled to like almost every state in the United States by myself, because I literally thought that was like my mission and purpose, was just like to travel everywhere, which it did, because I thought I was trying to find myself, but really home and myself were the same exact things. And home is right here. It's in your heart, and there's certain places that can definitely turn on a higher frequency so that you feel like a higher vibration within your body. When I am near the beach, I feel happy and at peace. Or when I am walking in the sand, same thing. I feel like grounded. I feel happy and at peace. It's kind of stupid to say, but it's like I was traveling to all these different places because I was trying to find peace. But like the peace in like my home and the true version of me, like that was always within me this entire time. Okay. And so I used my ex as this like ploy or this like distraction to make me feel like there was something wrong with my life, and he was the reason why it wasn't okay. But if it worked out with him, then I would be okay. But that, like I said, was a ploy. It's like that wasn't the case at all. And through my travels and through my healing process and through just sitting with myself and doing that meditation, like I said, going back to like the most painful moment in my life and healing that version of me constantly. I did that multiple times over. That is how I found the true version in me. And many times it's like the child version of you is really the version of you that needs to be healed and also will guide you to doing what you're meant to do and to find peace and happiness. Okay. So like this definitely just turned into a TED Talk, but what I would challenge you to do is, if you're so eager to find these signs in your ex, maybe that's because you're trying to use your ex to fill a void within yourself. So if you could kind of connect to yourself and, like I said, practice that meditation, or just like ground yourself, go for a walk outside, or just like breathe, journal, do something like that. I know a lot of that stuff is not super popular for everyone, but I'm telling you, if you try that, you will discover who you are, what your pain points are, and then how to soothe yourself. And honestly, that is how you become securely attached. Learning how to regulate your emotions, learning how to self-soothe, learning how to come up with solutions and lean on yourself, but also lean on other people. Learn how to make yourself happy. Learn how to be okay. Anyway, this episode really did just take a turn at the end, but I just wanted to share some of the signs that I noticed right before my avoidant ex did come back into my life. And again, he came back into my life multiple times, but those were some of the signs that I experienced. So you might have a similar situation coming up, or maybe you already had this happen to you. But the real point of this podcast is this: can you turn the spotlight from your ex onto you? Because everyone comes into your life for a reason. So have you figured out the reason why they came into your life and caused you so much pain? What does that pain tell you about yourself? Okay, that is it for this podcast, you guys. I love you so much. If you're interested in one-on-one relationship coaching, feel free to click the link down below. I love you. I love you. I love you. And a new podcast episode will come out every single Sunday. This is New Day with Natalie. I am your host, Natalie Louise, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.